My name is Major Robert Settles Jr. Worked for the Sike County Sheriff's Office 28 years. As we all in our lives, there's always some defining moment that brings us to where we are in life as of today. And I'd just like to share one defining moment that happened to me as a young man. And that day, that moment rather, was the day I met my father for the first time. It was 1976. I was 17 years old. My mom came to me and wanted to know if I wanted to go see my dad. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. My father lived in Cleveland, Ohio at the time. And so when she asked me this, I told her I wanted to go. So at 17 years old, I got a round trip ticket on a Greyhound bus by myself and rode up to Cleveland, Ohio, to meet my father for the first time. As I got there, I remember it was very cold. Got to the Greyhound bus station in Cleveland, and I was looking for what was to be my grandmother and my dad's sister, my aunt. The only thing I knew about them was I knew their names. My grandmother's name was my dad's mother. Her name was Odessa, and his sister, her name was Bernice. So that's the only thing I knew about them. I didn't know what they looked like. So once I arrived to the bus station, I just sat there and waited for these two people to approach me. Me not knowing who they were and what they looked like, I had no idea who would be walking towards me. So I just sat there. And as I sat there, no one walked towards me for a period of time. And at 17 years old, being in a different state, I started to get a little nervous. But shortly after that, these two ladies approached me and asked me if I was Robert Jr. And I told them yes, I'm Robert Jr. And they said, great, and they gave me a big hug. And we talked a little bit, and we got in the car and went to my aunt's house, Aunt Bernice's house. So we had dinner and we talked a little bit, and she said, well, tomorrow we're gonna go see your father, and are you ready to do this? I'm like, yeah, ready to do it. So we woke up the next day, we got dressed. My Aunt Bernice and my grandmother, my dad's mom, went to see my father. And so once we got to the building, I was getting a little nervous, didn't know what to expect. I had a lot of questions in my mind in regards to many things I was thinking about on the trip up there, as well as in the car driving to the building that he was at. And once we get inside the building, I noticed I could kind of see him from afar. And I just started noticing things that I could get, as I got closer, I could kind of see his hands. And I said, wow, then I got a little bit closer, I could see his face. But it was really strange seeing your dad for the first time, and he's lying in his coffin. It was very powerful. I knew that all the questions that I had in my mind, that I would never get the answers to any of those. But I could remember just running those through my head, knowing that I'm looking at my dad lying in his coffin. I'm not going to get any response. I'm not going to get any satisfaction. So we sat there, they had a little service for him, and I met some people that knew him, and told me how great a guy he was and all that, but it really didn't mean very much to me at that time. So once it's all over, we went back to my Aunt Bernice's house, and we had dinner. And I remember my grandmother gave me some pictures of him, and told me about he was in the Army in Korea and stuff like that. And then the following morning, I got back on the bus to Memphis, and I headed back home. I was 17 at the time, and at that moment, on that bus back to Memphis, it was a very defining moment. I made a couple of promises to myself. At 17, I didn't realize what, you think about different things, and a couple of promises I made to myself on the way back to Memphis on the bus was that, number one, if I were ever a father, I would definitely make sure that my kids knew who I was. I would make sure that I told them that I love them. Make sure I tell them that I'm proud of them. Try my best to do things with them. And also to, if I ever got married as well, I would definitely try to be a good husband to my wife. Not saying that my dad wasn't, I don't know. But those are a couple of promises I made to myself. As I sit here today, I'm 62 years old. Coming September, I'll be married 39 years to my wife, Sarah. I have two sons, Luke and Joseph, who are great guys, great men, great human beings. Not to brag, but as parents we brag. But I say that with all honesty. They're two good guys that can hold their own in the world. As I look back, perhaps this might have been a blessing that I met my father that way. He was a very motivating factor in my life, and I contributed a lot of how my life has been shaped and molded by that time when I met my dad for the very first time.